Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk to you about the things or the symptoms that I experienced throughout my first trimester of pregnancy. Before I go on with the video, however, I just wanted to say that if you do hear something in the background, I apologize. It is my fan. It is extremely hot here at the moment and it doesn't look like it's going to cool down anytime soon. So I am going to keep it on for the remainder of the video because I'm not going to get through the video without it. And then I also have a book here next to me which I've written in everything that happened in the first trimester. I am going to refer to it and look at it from time to time, as the first trimester was a while back and I might forget a thing or two if I don't refer to the book to jog my memory. I do forget things these days, so it is necessary for me to have this next to me. All right, so let's start. I'm going to number the things or symptoms from 1 to 6. 1 being the thing that least bothered me throughout the pregnancy, and 6 being this thing that bothered me the most during the first trimester. Okay, so the first symptom that I experienced, and also number 1, the thing that bothered me the least, was cramping. I experienced it for a very, very short time, and this, as I understand it, was implantation cramps. They were very mild, and like I said, they went away very quickly as well. So that was my first symptom of my first trimester. The second symptom that I experienced was tender breasts. Now this I experienced throughout my whole first trimester, but it didn't bother me that much. So for me, that was number 2. You felt it; it was there, but it wasn't really um, causing anything else for me to put it at a higher number. Then number 3 was increased bathroom visits. This was something to get used to. It was very disruptive to me at work. I needed to go to the bathroom a lot, and you didn't really need the bathroom that much actually. But it felt like you needed it that much, if you know what I mean. Um, so yeah, that was my third symptom. Or at number 3 for me, just because it was a little disruptive in my day-to-day work life. Then number 4 was nausea. Now I'm not going to say morning sickness because it's not morning sickness. It's nausea that happens throughout the day. Now I didn't experience it in a way that I had to run or to the bathroom, or that I vomited, or I didn't really vomit, but I experienced the nausea, if I can put it like that. I think in my whole first trimester, I vomited twice, because of things that I'm going to mention now. It was mainly one thing that caused me to vomit those 2 times. But yeah, it was mainly just nausea that I experienced because of certain things around me that caused it. And this also happened throughout the whole first trimester. Um, the first thing was brushing my teeth. That was a horrible, horrible experience for me during my first trimester. I couldn't, it was so hard. And that is also the thing that caused me to vomit those two times. And after those two times, I made sure that I went to brush my teeth before I ate something. That helped with not vomiting. It didn't make it any better, but I didn't vomit if I didn't eat before I went and brushed my teeth. Because normally, what I would do is I would eat my breakfast and then I would go and brush my teeth. But that didn't work out for me. I'm not someone who think it's very entertaining to vomit in any time of day, but I don't want to start my morning off like that. So that was a real struggle for me. I did switch from very strong flavored, can I say, and smelling toothpaste to a Sensodyne toothpaste. Very mild, didn't really have any flavor to it. That helped a lot also. Um, and I had to do it in stages. So what I did was I brushed my teeth a little bit and then I stopped. And I just breathed and calmed down. And then I would go in again and brush a little bit. That's how I got through my brushing my teeth throughout the day. So very irritating. I did not like that. Then the other thing that caused me to be nauseous was um, certain smells. Now, the problem with this is it was never the same. So I can't tell you that it was specifically the smell of chicken or the smell of um, someone cooking this specific dish or whatever. It was never the same. So today, or maybe even like around lunchtime, I can walk into the kitchen and there can be pasta on the stove cooking, and the smell of it just completely doesn't work with me. It's immediate. It's immediate reaction. You are nauseous. You feel like you're going to vomit. You just know I'm not going to go near that food. Yeah, it's just full stop. But then in the evening, you can actually want to eat pasta, and then the smell doesn't bother you. So it's things that it wasn't any set smells. It changed from day to day. It changed throughout the day, but those were also things that caused me to feel nauseous. Then, um, what what caused me the most nausea throughout the day was my stomach being empty. So, the main thing here was that I had something with me all the time. It can be anything that you can or want to eat, a small like snacks or whatever that you can keep with you. Just like for example, if it's peanuts for you, it can be peanuts for you. Just by taking one or two, just little bits at a time, just keeping something in your tummy, it made the world of difference for me. Because when my stomach was empty, I was nauseous. And especially if you are working, that can you you don't know what to do. You can't get on with your work. It's very difficult to get on with your work day if you are feeling that nauseous because it's a continuous feeling. It doesn't go away, and the longer you leave it, the worse it's going to get, and then eventually you do need to run to the bathroom because you do get physically sick. You want to go and vomit. So that was the main thing that I did to keep that nausea away, is just to have snacks on me, just to eat here and there and keep something in my tummy. And then by doing that, that part of the nausea was manageable. Then at number five, now a lot of people say that in their first trimester they had cravings for certain type of things. It can be weird things, or it can just be certain types of food or fruit or whatever. I didn't have any cravings in my first trimester. My cravings started later, which I will talk about in a later video as well. In my first trimester, I had a problem with finding things that I did want to eat and could keep in my body. So, for example, people will tell you that you should stay away from or limit fizzy drinks and coffee and stuff like that. I didn't have a problem with that. That was actually okay. You can see it as a blessing in disguise, but um, those things just didn't agree with me anyway at that time of my pregnancy in the first trimester. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see physical drink. I didn't want to see coffee. I didn't want to smell it. Um, I tried. Um, it was cream soda. I tried cream soda in my first trimester, just a little bit, and I got physically. I almost got physically sick just by having it in my mouth. So those things really, really didn't work well with me. And the other thing that stood out that I really couldn't stomach in my first trimester of pregnancy was 2 minute noodles. It it completely grossed me out in the first trimester. I what I wanted to eat in the first trimester was things that I found that I grew up with, that I saw as comforting to me. These things also varied, and some days I only wanted to eat that, so that is the only thing that I ate throughout the day. I couldn't eat anything else. It made me nauseous, it made me sick. So whatever I felt that I could eat in my first trimester, that is what I ate. Um, would be things like macaroni and cheese, mash, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. It would be things that, yeah, the plainer, the better was the key actually. But it was difficult to find things to eat in my first trimester. So no cravings, just difficulty to find things to that I actually could keep in my body in the first trimester. And then at number six is the thing that bothered me the most, and that was being extremely tired. I was so tired throughout my first trimester. It felt like you didn't have any energy left to do things that you used to like to do. Um, I'm not someone who likes to come home and do nothing. I like to do things, things that I like, or just just doing something. If it's not a hobby, doing something in the house, trying to make something look better, or I can't sit still. I need to do something. So that was the worst for me because I had no energy. Um, I woke up in mornings tired already. Had to get up for work, go to work, tired through the whole day, struggling to make it through. When I came home, the one thing that I wanted to do was go to sleep. That's what I wanted to do. And even if I tried not to sleep, if I went and I lie down on my bed, it won't be long and then I would fall asleep anyway. So that was the worst for me because it felt like I couldn't live my life like I normally did. It felt, yeah, that you felt like you are not you anymore. So that was the most difficult thing throughout my pregnancy, things that of the symptoms that I experienced. I also want to mention one thing, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video also things and symptoms, because this is not a symptom I experienced, but it was something that happened to me in my first trimester. It happened in August, so it was about the second month of pregnancy, and that is when I got the flu. This was also very terrible. um, Now, normally, when you get ill and you go to the doctor, you are prescribed medicine, you get better, and you move on. It's easy. Okay, normally, all right, normally easy. But because you are in your first trimester of pregnancy, um, they don't want to give you any medication because it's not safe, which is logical. I mean, you don't want to use something that is not safe for your baby. That is your first priority now. So the main thing that they prescribe for you when you are ill is to stay at home and rest. So for my flu, I was um, given a week off of work. I had to stay home and rest. Then the doctor also gave me Nadu, because that's the only thing you can drink for your pain. Um, and then I got a saline nasal spray. It's Sterimar um, seawater nasal spray that I got, and I had to use for that week. And then if I didn't get better at that time, I had to go back to the doctor, and then they would see what they can do. But they don't want to do um, a lot in the beginning. They want to try and treat your illness with as little medication as possible because it's not safe. There are very few things, as I understand it, in your first trimester that is safe to use as medication. So that was not a nice experience, because you had to live with this flu, with all the other symptoms that you are already experiencing, and wait to feel better. So I just wanted to add that in, just so if some of you were wondering what happens if you are ill during your pregnancy or in your first trimester of pregnancy, is you're not going to get offered any medication. If you thought you were going to be offered any medication, I am sorry. I I feel your pain. Um, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But it does get better. You do get better. It just takes longer to get over it. And also just keep in mind, this was your doctor or your healthcare provider, whoever you go to, they will make their own assessment. This was the assessment that was made um, on my symptoms, what I was experiencing, the level of flu I was experiencing. So it will differ from person to person, and the doctor will always make the correct decision, what's best for you and for the baby. So um, I'm not saying that this is only ever going to be what's prescribed to you. I'm not a healthcare provider. I'm not a doctor. I don't have that training. I'm just telling you what was prescribed to me and what I experienced while I had the flu during my first trimester of pregnancy. So just keep that in mind. It may differ from doctor to doctor or whoever your healthcare provider is. but that was my experience. Right. So that is all I have to talk about my first trimester of pregnancy. If you have any questions about it, please leave a comment. I will get back to you. I think that I've covered everything, but some of you may have experienced it differently, or you just might want to know more about something that I mentioned. Feel free to leave a comment. And if you like my videos, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.